We are at the hospital because we are dealing with okay. We are dealing with bladder cancer. And he is having his bladder removed, and they will create a new bladder with one of his intestines. And this option was, I guess, the best because it fully removes the cancer to ensure that it doesn't come back, because it was close to his muscle. So yeah, we are here to fully remove the bladder. Yeah.
Texting the boys. It's their first day of practice today, and I'm excited.
The internet has erupted into absolute chaos as Chris Brown is reportedly spiraling after shocking news that Karrueche Tran and Deion Sanders have secretly tied the knot. And to make matters even wilder, word in the streets is that Karrueche might be expecting twins. This isn't just another quiet celebrity update. This is the kind of headline that's frozen timelines across social media, leaving fans in disbelief and gossip pages running overtime. Chris's reaction has been nothing short of explosive. Ever since the world found out about Karrueche and Deion's relationship, he's been throwing subliminal shade at every opportunity. But now, with marriage confirmed and pregnancy rumors heating up, his bitterness has turned into a full-blown meltdown. The timing couldn't be worse, and fans are convinced that his cryptic posts and erratic behavior might be leading to an even uglier outburst. One thing is certain: Chris Brown always finds time to throw shots at his exes, no matter what else is going on. This time, it looks like Karrueche is directly in his crosshairs again. Their relationship may have ended long ago, but it's clear that the tension never faded. Just days ago, whispers began spreading that Karrueche had secretly married her boyfriend Deion Sanders' grandson, a shocking twist that left everyone stunned. Now the focus is on Chris, watching how he handles this bombshell as the internet continues to dissect every post, lyric, and reaction he makes. Word on the streets is spreading like wildfire that Karrueche Tran and Deion Sanders didn't just keep their romance quiet. They may have actually gotten married in secret. The speculation intensified when sharp-eyed fans noticed what appeared to be a sparkling red ring resting gracefully on Karrueche's finger. That single image sent the internet into overdrive, with nearly everyone convinced that the marriage rumors are now confirmed. But while social media celebrates and scrambles to connect the dots with screenshots and receipts, one person isn't handling the news well at all: Chris Brown. Reports suggest he's already spiraling over the revelation, clearly struggling to accept that his former flame has moved on in such a permanent way. And just when it seemed the situation couldn't grow any heavier, another shocking rumor surfaced. Multiple sources have now claimed that Karrueche is pregnant, and not just with one child, but expecting twins with Deion. Insiders revealed that after Deion's recent cancer scare, the couple decided it was time to build a family of their own, cherishing every moment together. Fans remember the emotional video Deion posted about his health battle, and right there beside him was Karrueche, holding his hand, visibly emotional but strong. She wasn't just silent support, she was his rock. When Deion spoke about the difficult road ahead, Karrueche stood firm, saying it wasn't just his journey, it was theirs together. That moment, now viewed in a new light, seems to have marked the beginning of a deeper bond, one that may have led straight to marriage and a growing family. Karrueche wasn't just a supportive girlfriend in name, she was there for every moment. Sources close to the couple say she showed up at every doctor's appointment, checked in with Deion's trainers, and fully stepped into every supportive role imaginable. And honestly, that's a heavy commitment, especially for a relationship still taking shape. Most couples ease in quietly, but for them, there was no soft launch. It went straight from private romance to hospital visits and surgeries. It might not be the traditional love story, but it's one that clearly brought them closer on every level. And now, with rumors swirling that she's not only married but also pregnant with twins, the internet is in complete disbelief. Fans are split. Some are happy for her, while others can't help but side-eye the situation, especially considering Deion's history when it comes to relationships. Deion has had his share of messy breakups. He divorced his first wife, Karrueche Chambers, after having 3 children, then went on to marry Pilar Bigger Sanders, with whom he had 2 more kids. That relationship ended in a bitter and public custody battle where he accused Pilar of being unstable. Then came his long-term relationship with Tracy Edmonds, which lasted over a decade before he suddenly called off their engagement in 2023. So when word broke that Karrueche was the new woman in his life, many fans warned she might be setting herself up for heartbreak. Still, if she's genuinely happy, supporters have been willing to let her enjoy her fairy tale. Everyone except Chris Brown. From the second the news hit that Karrueche and Deion were together, Chris has reportedly been in a downward spiral. His behavior has only grown more chaotic, with insiders claiming he's been trying to reconnect with Karrueche for months. He truly believed he still had a shot at winning her back, until now, when it appears that chance is gone for good. But now the reality is setting in hard for Chris Brown, because it's clear that Karrueche Tran isn't looking his way anymore. The connection he thought might still exist is gone, and the realization has hit him like a wave. What's wild is that Chris seems genuinely shocked, even though he's the one who set this entire chain of heartbreak into motion. Their story began back in 2011, when Chris and Karrueche first crossed paths while she was working in fashion and trying to grow her modeling career. The chemistry was instant, and by March of that same year, they had gone public as a couple. But the fairy tale didn't last long. Within a year, cracks started showing, because by early 2012, Chris was already back entangled with Rihanna, reigniting their infamous on-again, off-again relationship. That decision left Karrueche stuck in the middle of a messy public love triangle. Rihanna's fan base went after her relentlessly, flooding her social media with hate. And while the world was watching, Chris made things even messier by trying to justify his actions. He released a statement saying, "I love Karrueche very much, but I don't want to see her hurt over my friendship with Rihanna. I'd rather be single so we can both be happy." But instead of quietly walking away, Chris dropped a promo-style video confessing he was in love with both women at the same time. The stunt had everyone calling him out for turning real heartbreak into entertainment. By May 2013, his spark with Rihanna had fizzled again, and just like clockwork, Chris ran straight back to Karrueche. The wildest part? She took him back without hesitation. Within weeks, they were living together again, acting like none of the drama had ever happened. But as history tends to do, it repeated itself quickly. Chris landed back in rehab, where rumors began swirling that he'd hooked up with a staff member during treatment. Before long, the situation spiraled out of control, and he ended up right back in prison, while Karrueche was left to pick up the pieces once again. Karrueche eventually reached her breaking point after discovering Chris Brown was texting multiple women behind her back. For months, their relationship ran in a vicious loop. She'd catch him cheating, they'd explode in public arguments, and Chris would jump online to throw shade, only for them to reconcile shortly after. It became a toxic cycle of betrayal and reunion that everyone saw coming. But the final straw came when Karrueche discovered Chris had fathered a child with model Nia Guzman, and she didn't find out privately. She learned about it online, just like the rest of the world. That was it. She fired off a tweet that would mark the end of their relationship, saying, "Listen, one can only take so much. Best of luck to Chris and his family. No baby drama for me. Looks like I'm a single lady again." After that, Karrueche seemed to truly focus on herself for the first time in years. She poured her energy into her acting and modeling career, built her brand, and slowly rebuilt her peace. She started seeing new people, trying to move on from the chaos. But Chris couldn't let go. Every time photos surfaced of her with another man, his jealousy went through the roof. In 2015, Chris sat down for an interview with Ryan Seacrest, claiming he was finally taking accountability for his mistakes. He spoke about learning from his actions and growing as a man. But his behavior online told another story. When Karrueche began doing her own interviews, addressing the breakup and wishing him the best while maintaining her distance, Chris snapped again. He went on a public rant, furious that she was still being asked about him. He wrote online, "It's so pointless to keep doing interviews about me. Talk about your career. If there's no relationship, stop speaking on it." But the truth was, he couldn't stand the idea of her truly moving on. Not with another man, not in peace, and definitely not in the public eye. It started getting real weak from Chris's side. The same man who once sang, "These girls ain't loyal," was out here proving he couldn't take accountability. But Karrueche wasn't going to let him play in her face again. This time, she came with a clapback heard around the world. She responded publicly saying, "They asked a question, and as a mature adult, I answered. I'm not going to shy away from something I lived through. I'm talking about my life and experiences. I'm not speaking on you or bashing you like I easily could. Don't be mad at me because our relationship ended due to your lack of loyalty." And she didn't stop there. Karrueche fired off another blow, adding, "You know what's weak? You forcing yourself into my car, breaking my window, blowing up my phone, trying to shower me with gifts. Man up and change that nonsense in your life, like I've told you several times." That statement hit hard, and for once, Chris folded. He publicly admitted he was still in love with her, posting, "I'm eternally thankful for you being part of my life. I've learned so much from you. I wish you nothing but happiness. All I was doing was fighting for the woman I love. I learned a lot." But even after the apology, the situation didn't calm down. According to reports, Chris allegedly began stalking Karrueche, showing up uninvited, monitoring her moves, and even threatening her and her loved ones. By 2017, Karrueche had finally had enough. She took her fight to court, filing for a restraining order and giving powerful testimony that shocked the public. She revealed Chris had become violent when she refused to return the diamond rings he had given her, saying he'd threatened to harm her multiple times. The courtroom fell silent as she detailed how her once glamorous relationship had turned into a nightmare of control and fear. He had given those diamond rings to Karrueche during their relationship, but when she refused to return them, things reportedly turned dangerous. According to her court filings, Chris Brown allegedly began sending threatening texts, escalating the situation to a level of toxicity that left everyone stunned. But the story didn't end there. In her sworn statement, Karrueche detailed how Chris had allegedly threatened to end her life, harassed her friends, and spread fear among those close to her. She claimed that around the second week of February, he told multiple people that he was going to harm her, saying, "If no one else can have her, I'll take her out myself." The documents also revealed disturbing allegations of physical abuse. Karrueche stated that while they were still together, Chris had punched her twice in the stomach and pushed her down a flight of stairs. Though she didn't file a police report at the time, her testimony painted a chilling picture of what she endured behind closed doors. Adding another layer to the situation, all of this reportedly happened while Chris was still on probation for assaulting Rihanna back in 2009, the case that had already rocked his career. He had pled guilty to felony assault and making criminal threats, accepting a plea deal that involved more than 1,000 hours of community labor in exchange for avoiding prison time. By 2015, he had completed those hours, and many believed it was his chance at redemption, a chance to rebuild and prove he had changed. But instead, he allegedly repeated the same destructive cycle with Karrueche, showing that old patterns die hard. Fans began calling him out relentlessly, pointing out how history seemed to be repeating itself, and how Chris appeared to be spiraling deeper into obsession. To many, it was as if he couldn't function without control, turning love into a weapon every time he lost it. The moment Karrueche's 5-year restraining order against Chris Brown expired, his old habits seemed to resurface almost instantly. Reports claim he went right back to obsessing over her online, monitoring pages that posted her photos, and engaging with anything that had her name attached. Fans noticed him liking and commenting on nearly every post she appeared in, making it clear that his fixation hadn't faded one bit. Then, in 2024, when Karrueche shared a series of photos of herself looking radiant, Chris couldn't resist. He liked the post publicly, ensuring everyone saw it. That single tap sent social media into overdrive, convincing fans that Chris was still emotionally stuck, still holding on to something that ended years ago. But the real proof came when Chris reignited his feud with Quavo during the release of his 11:11 album. On a track titled Freak, he threw direct shade at both Karrueche and Quavo, clearly frustrated about their past relationship. He rapped, "No F asterisk asterisk in on my ex, ain't gonna make a sequel, July 19th 42, cause I don't do no Quavo freaky, she like Casamigos not the Migo." That line immediately went viral. Listeners caught the reference, and within hours, Quavo fired back with a brutal diss track titled Tender. His response was raw and unfiltered, calling out Chris's violent history, mocking his obsession with Karrueche, and even taking jabs at his alleged substance issues. Quavo rapped, "She did the boy wrong, now the boy gone. Don't beat her up, must be the drugs. Cross her route, you lost your plug." Then he added, "Tell me, lil bro, what's your issue? It's over a thought. Said it's bigger than that, but it's not. It's cause I be digging in that, got him hot." The diss was scathing, and it hit home. While Quavo was moving forward, Chris seemed trapped in the past. To make matters even more telling, on the same 11/11 album, Chris included a track called Residuals, which many fans immediately linked to Karrueche. The lyrics read like a confession. "Was it on my mind? She's still on my mind. Do we build it up or leave it behind?" It was clear that even after years, court orders, and new relationships, Karrueche Tran still lived rent-free in Chris Brown's head, and that obsession was once again spilling into his music, his image, and his every move online. It's giving pure desperation at this point. Both of Chris Brown's most famous exes, Rihanna and Karrueche Tran, have clearly moved on, living lives filled with peace, growth, and new love, while Chris seems stuck in the same toxic loop. What started as obsession has now turned into public unraveling, from stalking Karrueche online to throwing subliminals in songs, and now allegedly offering to raise her twins if she takes him back. The spiral is undeniable. It's giving full-blown chaos energy. Karrueche is building a new life with someone who seems to genuinely love and respect her, and Chris simply can't handle it. His behavior has fans watching in disbelief, with many saying it's proof that some people just can't stand seeing their ex thriving without them. But now, everyone's wondering, will Karrueche even consider his apology, or has she closed that chapter of her life for good? Because at this rate, it doesn't look like she's turning back. One thing's certain, this feud is far from over, and if Chris keeps spiraling at this pace, things are going to escalate faster than anyone can predict. The stage is set, the emotions are raw, and the next move could set off an even bigger storm. So buckle up, because this drama isn't just unfolding, it's exploding in real time. Nobody knows how far it'll go, but it's guaranteed to shake the entire industry. Now drop your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think Karrueche should ever respond to Chris again, or keep her peace and move forward? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss the next chapter in this wild story.